Well, listen, one thing that we saw from the closed beta was a lot of pop-off moments that made people very happy. Emily, let's start with yours. What we did actually was we all picked one moment that we would consider our favorite or maybe even the best moment of the beta. Emily, what did you pick?
Well, so I cheated, and I really just wanted to talk about Fish 123 again. So my moment is the artist. I was going to do a really bad pun. I was going to say the artist formerly known as Ice Paper Hands, which is terrible because, you know, he changed his name. Anyway, all right. No one likes my dad jokes. I just really wanted to talk about this team one last time. The moment in and of itself, it's super impressive. It's what you think of when you think of him, which is kind of the op of the team. And I just think I love seeing teams like this. Like these are my personal favorite moments from beta, where it's not a streamer doing some sort of insane like 1v like 4 or 5 outplay, you know. It's something like this where you see a team of like talented semi-pros who maybe didn't get to go pro in their own game, or they didn't have as much success in their game, and they come into this game and they have a really interesting understanding of how to play it, especially on split. And I really love watching these guys. Like these kind of stories are my personal favorite things to come out of something like a closed beta when you do have tournaments. It's something I pay a lot more attention to than streamers. So again, like I kind of cheated, but that was my moment.
Tyler, what's yours?
Mine is the exact opposite of Emily's, where hers is very clinical and straightforward, where I took
you know Twitter's going to say you hate Fish 123.
No. But look at these clips. Look at these clips. Look at this. This is what I want Valorant to be in the long game. I know a lot of people want this to be the CSGO game and to be very like Counter-Strike in every possible way, but watching a player play Raze like this, where she's so mobile, and even using her ultimate, which people are like, it's too overpowered, where they're using the ultimate to actually just use it for terrain gain and to use it for mobility, is beautiful to see. I like that this person, Flight, who made a beautiful montage, if you've not checked it out, like a 3-minute montage of all his best Raze plays, is that he did what the developers want, right? The entire point of this game is to defy the limits, to think outside the box. We're going to give you the tools to paint a picture and paint whatever you want. Some of them have been, fixed out of the game. Like the Omen bugs, some Sage walls have been, nerfed a bit. But I think these kind of Raze plays are necessary for the longevity of the game, because these are the type of plays where people are going to be wanting to watch the game. The Counter-Strike play, if you want to watch Counter-Strike, pure Counter-Strike, go watch Counter-Strike, because it's an amazing esport. Valorant's never going to beat Counter-Strike when it comes to a viewing experience of pure gunplay. But when you add in pop-off moments like that, where you see a Raze, boosting 3 times to, go from spawn to heaven to just, it's insane. Looking at those kind of plays is what makes me excited about the future of pro play in Valorant. And I hope it's not nerfed or it's not, taken away because it's too powerful.
I hadn't seen that knife at the spike play.
Oh,
my word.
It's so dirty.
If I had known that existed, I actually would have picked that so that we could watch it again. That was beautiful. Just the way to get to the spike around the... Oh, my gosh.
But those are the plays that make people fall in love for an esport, right? Why is League of Legends the biggest esport in the world? It's because of plays like Faker in Season 3, back when League of Legends you could snowball with one player, right? Now League of Legends is much more team-oriented, where one player just can't stomp everyone and snowball the game itself. But one of the reasons why League became so popular is because players like Faker and Dade and Xpeke had these amazing individual plays that made people want to play the game. So if you're watching a tournament,
watch this. Oh my word!
If you're watching a tournament and you see that knife play, you're gonna go to your computer right after, buy Raze, and play her until you can do that or get close to that. And I think that's what Valorant needs, is some spice and electricity to its gameplay, because if you're going to try to out Counter-Strike, you're not going to do that. You're going to lose. You have to be your own game.
Jacob is someone who covers Counter-Strike on the Eco and your
player
column.
Actually,
and also yes, indeed. So, what was your big moment from the closed beta in Valorant?
So this is one of the Counter-Strike 5 stacks that Skadoodle was queuing up with in higher level scrims, and ended up like Omen. If we remember when the game first came out, a lot of people didn't give Omen the right time of day, and so this play is Ska making a full rotational map in a 1v4 that you were about to see. His team ends up dying. Here he is by himself, 1v4, bouncing around the map, using the teleports, getting positional advantage, headshot, and then pushes into C and is about to win the game. So I think the one thing is this kind of shows like, now in hindsight, this is a little bit older of a clip, but it came top of mind when we were talking about this. You know, now you like know that you can hear the Omen teleport, right? So you should be able to like know what that sound indicator is and know that it's around you. But like using the smoke, this is Stewie2K actually that he kills right here, who pushes through the smoke and gets just absolutely wrecked. But nonetheless, like making good use of this with a character that a lot of people considered underpowered when it first came out. I would presume or I would agree that he was. But just look at that, like just making best use of abilities. To Tyler's point, this is like showing that this game has a little bit more depth to it from the ability, because of the ability perspective than just shooting in CS. And it's part of what makes it really fun and unique.
Well, Skadoodle is, as we know, one of the only high-level Omen players out there that we're aware of. Not many pros are playing Omen.
Jarek's played him a bit. The Dota champion played him during the European Brawl on Team Finland to varying degrees of success. There's some good
Omen. It's very rare still as compared to everything else.
Yeah, I mean, Omen is the highlight champion or the highlight agent, right? Where when you do a great mind bending trick,
to be honest, but nonetheless, yeah.
I think Jet is more of a mechanical highlight reel, where I think Omen's much more of the 5 head. Like, I'm gonna outthink you. I might not be able to out aim you, but if I can get you in a position where I can just shoot you in the back of the head, then I can win the game. I think I talked to a lot of people where that is Omen, where if you're not the best mechanically, sometimes you want to outthink the opponent. And I think when you're playing against high-level pros who have a deep understanding of the game, it's harder to trick them than, some Iron players. Yeah. So I do think Omen will be viable and has been viable in some high-level tournaments, but I don't think he's going to be a staple like, even a Jet now. Even Jet and Raze and Phoenix have all found success in, high-level tournaments.
The thing is that a lot of Venerated is in their chat saying Brim just outclasses Omen in every way. Exactly, particularly with the smokes, right? I mean, Brim's smokes are way more efficient, and Brim's ult is excellent, right?
It's just like you can make the argument for Breach over Phoenix too, right? Because they both have the flashbangs, right? Like Breach is probably the best character in the game as of the patch before close down, right? Like, but
totally.
Yeah, there are a couple characters, and same with. Also, the Brim thing applies to Viper, right? Because like part of her strong suit is those smokes, although you can't necessarily put them on command like you can with Omen and Brimstone. But yeah, I would agree with Venerated. I don't think that's a hard take, but I do think Omen has its benefits from a lurking perspective.
So here's my clip. This one is from the T1 Invitational. I lost my mind when I saw this.
I remember this one.
This is Wardell, and he's on A site here on Split.
Elish.
And so the wall is there. He stops, and look how much time is left. I want to play this again, but look how much time is left on the defuse. 0.04 seconds. So that means that in the 1v1, he stops midway. So he gets at least the midway marker, right? Yeah. But he has enough presence of mind to see the breach, misses the ability there, goes the right way around the wall, gets the elimination, goes back, and still has enough time to defuse. To me,
he could have stuck it. We talked about this. He could have stuck it.
Exactly. That's the thing. So, like, I would guess that even 90% of pros might continue to defuse in that situation and still get the round. But somehow, like, this is, for me, exactly the creation of drama in a moment in Valorant. These are the kind of moments, going back to what you were saying, Tyler, about how like Valorant creates those moments that just give you that dopamine drip, that adrenaline rush. This is that personified for me.
I mean, it's like a Counter-Strike diffusal, but the walls utility gives it an extra edge, right?
Sorry to interrupt. So Juke's Sidewalker says, wasn't this a 1v3? It was actually a 1v3 on B site, and Wardell got 2 of the eliminations and then knew. I asked him about it, and he said, as soon as I got one of the eliminations, I knew that this was going to rotate back to A. So it was like a race to A, and that's why it happened. One of them was on Heaven, and he was on site planting Spike. Just incredible.
Yeah, VALORANT's incredible beta moments. Like this game at its best, like its best moments, is I think as hype as any other esport. It just needs a much better spectator mode.
I'm just gonna point something out. I think we could talk about this for a while, but actually something that I just thought of during Arda talking about that play is an X-ray. How much more hype would that play have been if you had the Counter-Strike X-ray, right? Where you can. Where the spectator can see through the wall, not the actual player, obviously. If you're unfamiliar with CS and this is your first hack shooter, in Counter-Strike, the spectator, the observer can see an outline through the wall. So presumably you would know, like you could see both parties, right? Like you could see from Allegia's POV where Wardell is, you can see where Allegia is from Wardell's POV. That would have made that even more hype, even though it already was. But nonetheless, yeah, that's